Hello, and welcome to a game called Banished. Today I'm going to be firing this classic up and seeing what it has to offer in 2023. Banished has been considered the gold standard for its genre for a long time. Maybe not so much now, but it certainly was 5 years ago. And we're going to give it a look, see how it holds up. I am running a few mods, a few. The Mega Mod Pack is 7 parts, a considerable amount of mods, of which I would probably be using maybe a quarter of them. But for simplicity's sake, for ease, I have done the mod pack. One of the downsides is it's going to cause the game to load very, very slowly. We're going to start a new game here. I am taking you along for the ride. There's no flash and glitz. I'm not pre-planning anything. We're going to hit a random seed. I do want to do the Colonial Charter Lake Waters map. Very large. Disasters on. I want to do a medium, I think, for this playthrough, or possibly a hard. Maybe we'll just stick with the shipwreck. I think that would be fine. It kind of goes with the lake waters, right? So we're shipwrecked. We're going to have a small amount of wood and stone along with seed and livestock, which I feel like livestock early game is a little too easy, but at the same time, it can present its own challenges. So we're going to get started. When you have the mods, the game will load quite slow. So if you either when you first fire up the game, it's going to load slow, or when you create the new game, it's going to load slow. Just be patient, give it some time. It could be a black screen and it could be there for several minutes. Just give it some patience. If you're running vanilla, things do run quite faster, except when you're loading a save game that has been in play for quite some time and has a lot of assets. Then it too can take a little bit of time to load. So I'm going to pause the game immediately when we get in here, give it a look, and you can see the artwork here in the game. We do have very limited pan ability with the camera here. We can't do up and down. We can only do right and left. We're static in the angle to which it is, but we can pivot around and zoom out from that angle to achieve the view that we need. So it's pretty good in that case. I'm going to pick one of the, let's see which is it, this one, and get a map so we can get a lay of the land and see where we are. So we've got a very large lake to the left, but it's isolated. It's off this main river system, and the importance of that is trade. Interesting that this one here, though, connects to the river system, and then we just have this little element right here. One of the nice things about the mod pack that I'm using is it does allow us to build canals to connect waterways. I think that would be very appropriate in this situation right here. There is also terrain modification, and I can't remember if that is part of the vanilla game or not. I do believe it is. So you could modify some terrain, but I can't remember what its capabilities are as far as that. The only other concern we have, and this is for anybody playing the game, is nomads will come from the northeast corner of the map. And that's going to be up here in this section. And what that means is when you get far enough along in the game, migrants or nomads will come to your settlement and want to join. And that can be a positive thing or a negative thing, depending upon where you are at and how you are ready to receive them. So in order for them to come and be able to join your settlement, they must have a clear path unobstructed by water. So I can see here that this main river branches this way, which means they're going to have to travel this, see where they get to. So this stream, this water, cuts them off. So at some point on this branch of stream, you have to put a bridge, which is not too terribly difficult given the position where we are now. So I think this playthrough will work just fine. I like the aspect of all this water. I mean, it's not ideal. It's not perfect, but we're going to make it work. So first thing that we're going to do is look at our markets. Where are markets? It's been a minute. It's been a minute. I thought they were in this section. They are in this section. All right, so we have the classic market, which covers that area pretty decently. We have several other small, tiny markets that are available. A central market that requires lumber, but it's big. Look how much area that covers. So one of the reasons why I'm liking this is it's going to give me the ability to make this a residential and production area, and then I can have harvesters, foresters, and gatherers and hunters over on this side, and this can be early on a little bit of animal husbandry and probably a lot of homes with some production facility stuff. So in order for this to work, I think I want this to be somewhere in here. I want it to reach to the other side. Yeah, I want it to reach to the other side, I think. Because what this will do is the radius here for this market is how far out the people that work that market will go to get goods from storage facilities like barns and things like that. So let's just put this down here. No, maybe I want to do a little bit lower. We'll put this down right here. All right, so we're going to get our people to moving. We have time controls so that we can change the speed of how things go. I want them to clear that off, and I want them to not quite start working on it, but I want them to clear it off. So I also want them to remove a bunch of stuff that's around here, because we're not going to need any of it. So I want them to pull everything. So we have sheep. So that's interesting. So I think those are sheep. Maybe they're llamas. Llamas? I think they might be llamas. So we're going to have wool production, which is nice because that will allow us to do leather and wool to make coats. That's very important because we're going to have to make coats for protecting our workers during the winter, during the cold. So let's see, we're going to be coming off of that. I am going to build a roadway just for the sake of alignment. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go all the way over here, but it's going to give me an idea. So straight to those reeds is where we're going to have a road. And then we're going 2, 3. So we're going to have 4. So that's going to be where we build our first bridge to come over to this section. And I'm going to go ahead and get that keyed in. I like the look of the stone bridges. I don't know what a bridge crossing looks like. I'm not familiar with it, but I am familiar with the stone bridges. So let's grab bitty slate bridge, stone bridge. I'm pretty sure I want this, the classic vanilla stone bridge. Stone and wood bridge. That's 4. Stone and wood is still 4 with 1 log. Don't think I need that. A drawbridge. Oh, now that's interesting. Wider than the other bridge. Ooh, but why can't I make that there? Is it because of the... Oh, okay. All right. So it is 3 wide. I like that a lot. Yes, we're going to go with that. So we're going to have them pause on that because it takes 65 stone. I want to make sure we are dedicating our resources to what we immediately need right now. But back to these llamas, we're going to have to find a home for them. Let me slow down time just a minute here. I don't want it to be too far, but at the same time, I need to get them into a pasture. Otherwise, they will die. So let's mark off our territory here. So that's going to be up there, 1, 2. So what I'm doing is I'm spacing my perimeter around my market. I'm giving it 4 spaces so that it can be a makeshift road of sorts. And the purpose of that is to give distance, because when natural disasters happen, like fires, they spread. We're going to do a pasture. We're just going to do a standard pasture. Probably a 10 by 20. And I need to do my other road to give my other value. 2, 3, 4. So we're going to be there. I don't know if that's going to give me enough space, but let's see what we can work with here. It does go up the slope. Will that work, or will that... I do believe there's a sloping pasture, so I think we're going to try that, because I think otherwise it will flatten that terrain. And I don't want to flatten that terrain, especially because I think I'm going to be using it for mines later on. But for now, we can hit R, and I think putting the... yeah, I think that'll work just fine. All right, so that's going to be a priority build for initially getting started, for sure. The other thing is I'm going to need a little bit more stockpile. I did pause the game because I want to make sure that they have space to store everything. So we're just going to put another temporary stockpile there. They're clearing out this section down here, so I think this is going to be where we are initially going to start building homes, because we need to get those built pretty quickly. So I'm going to go back to my roads just to give me my placement. So that's 4 blocks away. And oh, I had a little pause there. All right, so that'll give me a rough idea of where we are. Now they are going to build these roads, and that takes time. So you want to be careful on how many roads you build initially. Looks like we have a little bit of confusion. Is there not enough to do? I think I need to make some builders. So yeah, we're going to go to our windows. I'm going to put the update tab, the event log. I'm going to put that down here at the bottom. And we're going to have our map in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. Our profession list, I'm going to do a vertical profession list. And I'm going to assign 4 builders. Let's do 4 builders. We want to get stuff moving fast. So they've cleared this off effectively. So I'm going to pause its construction because I don't need these resources committed to this yet. We can't make lumber, so we don't need to go there just yet. We're going to wait a minute. And let's see. We're going to need homes. I'm going to let them start working on what they need to work on. I'm going to get some houses. This mod pack provides a huge variety of houses to be made. These first 3 items actually are the vanilla structures for the game, and they work just fine. The difference between the wooden house and the stone house is that the insulative value of the home, based on the materials that it uses, means that you use less firewood, which is pretty important, especially early game when your production is very limited for that. Which does remind me, that's one of the things we will have to focus on very soon, is producing firewood. So I'm going to put another stockpile down here because I want to make sure that they can quickly and efficiently move this material, and I think that's going to be, for the most part, out of my way. I'm going to make this a priority so that they get to it quick. I'm going to put a couple of houses here in this little section. So again, I'm going to square up where I want this road to be, which is going to be here. And this is going to be my initial framing for my home. So back to my houses. Tiny shack, log cabin, mini house, a rustic abode. That's quaint. I like that. That's kind of neat. Salt box, no. Town abode. That needs lumber though, and I can't do that just yet. And again, more building resources, more building resources. I could maybe possibly just build a boarding house. And that could be 90 and 25. That will at least give everybody a place to live. This is something that I usually don't do when I play this game, is start with a boarding house, but it obviously has its advantages because it's going to put everybody in a home. I think it can accommodate 20. I can't remember. Let's see. Does it tell us? As the regular boarding house. So the regular boarding house does not tell us what the capacity is. Okay. So, but the regular boarding house is that big of a footprint. That's pretty huge. And if the capacity is the same and our footprint is now reduced to more of a square rather than that long rectangle, I think this takes up less real estate. So I think this would be better. But what's the... so it's the same. It's the same amount of material. So we're basically talking about the same thing. It's that requires more building materials, row houses, colonial homes. Yeah, so I don't think we're going to be looking at any of these just yet. I think that's just vanilla. No, that's not vanilla. Well, what is that? But it requires iron, it looks like, if I'm not mistaken. And that boarding house is pretty elaborate. So, no. Boarding house. That takes 40 stone, 35 log. This is 90. This is obviously the most efficient thing to do. So I'm going to go back to this one. We are going to build this boarding house first. And we are going to place it. We're going to place it right here. Curious though, where's the door? Is there a door on this side? It lines up over there, but there's a door in the back. Okay, well, it's a back door, right? And if we put it to the right, we'll have more room for something to the left. But if we center it, we'll have decorative appeal that we can make. So we're going to center it on that section. And we will let them build that when they get around to it. Right now, priority on the stockpile, and we're going to have a priority on the pasture. Boarding house will get made, which means we need to focus on making firewood. Since our stuff is going to be coming over from this side mostly, let's go ahead and create our firewood stuff on this side. We're going to need a sawmill and a lumberjack. Those are foresters. We don't want that. We want fuel production. And these are all just choppers. And then we have sawmills, a lumber yard, and a sawmill. What is a lumber yard? I need a area to look. Doesn't have any variations to build. Looks like it's got a sawhorse stand with a log and a saw. And then we have our sawmill, which has two variations. So this is like an in-ground saw pit, but covered, and that's probably pretty cool. I think I like that. I'm going to put that over here. Is that centered on the market? I believe it is. We're going to put that right there. So that's going to be our sawmill. It has the capability of making lumber and firewood, which is going to be important. All right, that's done. So we need to prioritize this. We need a pasture for our llamas, otherwise they're going to start to die. So we can get that going. So our home is going here, that is going there. I really need bodies to clear out this material. That's really an important factor that I need. So we're looking at what we have in the upper left-hand corner. We still have 1,800 food, but that is going to be needing immediate. We need food. Based on that, I think I'm going to put a fishing hut over here with a barn. And I'm definitely putting a fishing hut down here. So let's see what we have. You know, if I remember correctly, the default vanilla fishing huts are it's pretty nice. I think I like it the best. You know, there's a small one, another smaller version, and that does work with that terrain pretty decent. But let's see, what else have we got? A little tiny one, bunch of other modded. There's that fishing dock. What's the difference between that and the original? 30 and 16. 30 and 16. Yeah, I don't think there's much difference between that and that. I'm going to put this one right there. And we're going to work with that for right now. I might do some terrain modification at some point. But I think that'll work. I think that'll work for us. So we're going to get somebody working on fishing. I might go ahead and queue this up since we are saving resources on building the boarding house. Now, I will say this, the disadvantage to the boarding house is I don't think people will make babies when they're in the boarding house, and population growth is really important. So even though this might be a quick help in getting people into a home in order to preserve them from freezing to death in the wintertime, we are definitely going to need to start getting some houses into this. So let's see what we can do here. So we're going to have that go there. We're going to have that go there. Again, I'm framing this to put a barrier. Think of it like a fire break around my market, which is going to be the center of my starting settlement. It's just going to be a protective fire break. And again, we're going to come out that way, and we're going to come out that way. I think I mentioned the roads. There is a bug. I don't know if I mentioned this or not. There's a bug in the creation of the roads, and I don't know if the bug is created by the mod pack or if the bug is part of the vanilla game. But if you remove a road before it is built, and this does happen later in the game for sure. I've never seen it happen early in the game, but when you have more assets around the world and things have to work harder, if you remove the road, sometimes it will visually remove it, but it doesn't actually remove it. And it becomes a permanent thing that can never be removed. And it becomes an obstruction. So it prevents you from placing buildings or other things. So, are we done? No, we're not done yet. So make sure when you do assign a road to be built, you let them finish building the road, and then you remove it if you need to remove it. Because you do run the risk of that bug happening. And that can just be annoying and get in the way. So we're going to put our marker there. We have our fire sawmill. So we're going to go ahead and get a wood chopper in here too. And I need them to start. Oh, that's big. Okay. A little Celtic one. That's not so bad. That's cute. Are there variations of that? Oh, there are. Oh, I like that idea. We're going to put him there. We're going to get them started on that. And then we're going to put a storage pile here for logs. Nope, we want that one. So we'll make room for a road. We'll make, actually we'll make the log pile over here. Make that for logs, and then we'll make a firewood stockpile here. Perfect. All right. And that'll be a good point for people to do that. All right. Looks like they're building that. We do have our pasture done, so we're going to put llamas. We're going to put somebody in control of that. There's no fences on this pasture, so that's interesting. Okay. We still have potatoes. We have a road that's going to be coming down here, so we're going to be putting a barn in this area. I want a small barn. I don't want to dedicate a lot of resources to it. So I think I want to put it like this. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. And I think we're going to do that because we're going to have the road is going to come down here. And then it'll come over. Yeah, it'll come this way. Yep, it'll come this way. I'll have to delete that once they get it built, have them remove that. So I think I might do some terrain editing here. Oh, although I don't want to obstruct this river, but what's nice is that does allow the trader to come this way. And once I offset this, then they can come through here. So I'll have to wait on that, but I think I would like to give a little bit more space this way. I haven't built that yet. Let me see if I can move that over. Give a little bit more room. So I really can't. I can move it that way more, but I want to maximize its water. It's just one. It's just one over, though. Maybe we modify the terrain now on this side to make it work the way we want. All right, so for that, we're going to save a game because I haven't done this before. So, oh, the other thing is I didn't save at the very initial start. That's something that's very important because Banished can be pretty harsh. So the terrain editing tools are over here. We can drop down or we can make level. And I think we want to make level. It's going to kill these reeds. Let's see. We might ruin. It doesn't let me drag. What happens if we do that? So I think we have to destroy it for it to take effect. And how does that change the placement of our little fishing hut? Well, it made it worse, didn't it? It certainly didn't improve anything. So can we drop that down lower? I don't think that's going to improve anything either. I'm not sure. Flatten terrain, water and holes come up, mountains come down. Flatten power tool. This is an instant flattening thing. That just made this look pretty ugly, didn't it? And if we go there, well, that's not what I wanted. I wanted that. That's not much of a difference, is it? All right, well, hopefully we can add something here. Otherwise, I think our lesson may have been learned. The terrain editing capability is to be avoided because we didn't accomplish anything. And it's not to say that can't be undone or changed to make better, because it certainly can. So what is preventing me from building there? What is here? So now I'm going to experiment, because this is interesting. Can I come out further and then come down here and see what happens? Can I then add what is the obstruction here? I think there's something there that is preventing me from doing what I want to do. All right, so we're going to reload. Do not consider this cheating, by the way, because this was an experiment. I'm just trying to see what happens when we do this. All right, so what about changing let's try this. If we do that, now I apologize if you're hearing whacking in the background. The construction apparently has started. Yeah, I think that's going to work out pretty good if we put that there. All right, so we got our fishing dock. So the construction has started behind me in where I live, and there's nothing I can do about it. This is the time that I have to do any gameplay or videos, so this is what we're dealing with. All right, so we are summer, and we don't have much done here as way of construction on this boarding house yet. So we need homes. Homes have got to be a priority. This will get done when that gets done. Bridge. How's the bridge? Close, and we're going to need that for food. So the plan is going to be to gather as much wild food as we can pretty soon. But we need homes because we're going to freeze. Why is nobody building this? Okay, I think we're going to have to do some things here to speed things up. Let me, we're going to stop construction on this. For some reason, they're not getting to it. I don't know if it's a bugged game item or not. So we're going to throw in some houses. Throw in a few stone houses here. Okay, we'll put that one there. Put that one there. We'll get started on those. And we'll just kind of keep an eye on everybody to see who's moving where, see what is actually being done here. We can delete that road. Remember how I said you have to wait for the road to be built to delete it before, otherwise it'll be a bug. Okay, I'm going to cancel the clearing of all this stuff, because I need them to focus on some other things here, I guess. Things aren't being prioritized, I guess, the way that I want to. just to make sure everybody focuses on what needs to be done here. All right. This is almost done. We need them to do this. Priority that. Hopefully we can get it done by the end of summer. Man, we might be running out of time though. I might need to focus on the homes first. 45 build time for those. So I just need to assess what's happening to make sure that we're still on track. Lots of movement. All right, I'm rethinking. Late summer. And I'm not going to deny it's looking pretty bleak. So we need to get these houses done. Obviously, without the houses, we're probably going to freeze to death over winter. Prioritize the houses, please. Still doing good on potatoes. Late summer now. I'm going to pause this. I want the woodcutter to go. The bridge is still not being worked on, but we want houses to be focused on this time. So let's get it going, people. So let's see. We're going to have that there. Here's going to be a production kind of area. And I think we're going to be putting in a tailor and a blacksmith. Do I want them to go here, or do I want them to go over here? Yeah, I think we're going to go over there, I think. I'm certainly not going to be winning any awards for speed in this playthrough. I kind of am taking my time with it. But we'll see how it goes. We'll do the classic. Tailor, and do the blacksmith. I honestly probably should have had these already built by now and already into at least some sort of tool production. I am pretty behind the curve here. So it's probably all those darn roads. Late summer, we need these houses to be built. Still kind of just doing a little waiting game here. Kind of eyeballing where people are going to make sure stuff is getting done that needs to be done. I really feel like this is a pretty slow process at this point. I'm not sure if this is my fault or something else here. So those houses are going to be built. We're going to need some more houses over here on this side of things. Plus we have our bridge that's going to be being made. And that's going to give us access to over here. So let's give this a little bit of attention for a minute. Here we're going to put a forester. Let's look at the food gathering first, though. We want a gatherer. We're going to go with just a basic gatherer. Put that over here. And let's say that gatherer, they're going to get the berries and mushrooms and wild roots and vegetables. And we'll get a hunter's lodge and put that here for leather and meat and so forth. And that will be there. Pause these for a minute. Let's see. Reserve of stone is low. Yes, it probably is. Let's go ahead and gather the stone. Get this out of the way. Let's go ahead and gather the ore. Get that out of the way. Wow, they really went through the stone quick. 2 homes. Okay, forester. I'm going to pause for a minute. Let's get the forester in. We want them probably to maximize their area over here. Put them there. We will pause them as well. Which means over here we're going to need a barn. For them to deposit their stuff. We'll do a small barn here real quick. And we're going to be coming off that road. Put it there. Again, we'll pause that until the bridge is made. I'm going to throw down a couple more homes. I think we're going to go over here in this corner. We'll go over here. So we're going to run the road again. This is our spacer. We can go all the way over there, but we're not going to do that. Go to there. And go to there. We'll put some log homes or wooden homes over here. Put that guy. There we go. So amongst all those homes, we should have enough to get things going. We just need people to build faster. So what's the holdup? What do we need? What do we need? Get somebody chopping some wood. What are our limits? That's the next thing that needs to be addressed. I should have done this originally. Definitely need, see, that's my mistake. This could have been a big blunder. Always increase your limits at the beginning of the game because you don't want to arbitrarily have them stopping producing just because of these limits. I think that'll be good for now. We'll just address those later. Because you literally could have resources that they're just not picking up because you already have enough. So they're just avoiding doing it. And that's not good. All right. So what other kind of production can we start planning here? We're going to need a mine. More than likely at some point. Probably going to need a quarry to get more stone. I think we're still a little early on that. I think we're kind of just waiting on them doing what they need to do here. Short on the stone for that, so let's focus and put priority on these homes. That way those will get done. We're missing the stone, so maybe they can switch focus and get that done. I'm going to go ahead and tell them to start gathering these resources here. Our food is low. Just like that, in a blink of an eye, our food is low. So instead of that, we're going to cancel. We're going to switch gears. I want them to get wild food. Collect all the wild food. They should have enough for that. I will tell them to get this stone. Hopefully that'll give enough stone to finish those houses off. Late autumn and we already have snow on the ground. This is going to be pretty dire here pretty quick. No food. No homes. This is looking like a fail for sure. Between not having enough food and not having enough progress made, yeah, it's looking pretty bleak. So, keep at it, though. We'll see what happens. You never know. I need 2 houses. All right, what else are we going to build here while they're doing that? Let's look at our options. Crafting. What do we need? Do we need a weaver or something? Brickmakers. A shipyard. So over here, we're going to have to start dealing with that. Or maybe down here. Might have to do some more terrain modification to make that work. Seems like it's got to go awfully far inland to make that work. Now we're running low on logs. Our food has gone up slightly. We have 1 house left to build. It looks like they have all the materials for that, so I'm going to allow them to start gathering these trees. Get them out of the way. Let's see, this is not paused. I'm going to pause this. I want them to get on that. That's going to require the stone. I don't think we have all the stone over here yet either, so we're still missing that. Will we survive the winter? That is the question. I have 4 builders. All right. Now everybody has a home. So early winter, we should survive. We have 127 food. We have no firewood, hardly at all. Can I increase firewood production? Yes. All right. So we have more firewood being produced. Hopefully that'll catch up. We need this to be built. So this is going to become our next priority. We need fish. Fish, and then this, and then we need the gathering hut and the hunter's lodge. And they may be considered too far away. We might need to put some houses over here, which means we might get into some other structures here. So what can we build? We have some lakeside homes, I know. Coastal house, nope. Tents, no. Narrow row houses, no. What are these? 2-story. Ooh, look at that. This only requires stone and wood? Why am I not building these magnificent structures? What is this? 3-story, 2-story. What? It's a lot of space. What can we do? Can we do that? I think we want to back off one. Can we do a right side and a left side? Do they flip? I don't know that they flip. They definitely change orientation. What are these other items, though? This goes on the left. And this goes on the right. Yeah, and that goes on the right. So how does this end up looking? That's the 3-story. That is huge. That is awesome. Well, that's pretty good looking. It's a little out of character, though, for what we have right now, isn't it? Something to consider going forward for sure. And here we have people starving. So we need to do a priority on gathering food. We're just behind. Logs is low. Now's the time when people start dying. Winter's on. Still have some coats and tools. I'm going to pause the tailor. They've already dedicated resources to that. We need all of our resources going to the blacksmith for tools. Firewood is increasing, and that's good. I'm going to pause this. We don't need it. Do we have any teenagers that are not in a home on their own? 10-year-old male. Okay, so we're good. We just have the 10-year-old male. So we're still a couple of years away. I don't see food increasing. They're carrying iron ore that they picked up, it looks like. Logs is low, so they've already gotten that. So let's have them clear some more logs. Get this area out of the way. Prioritize food. Excellent. This is being built. So the builders should be building that. I'm going to take away 2 builders because, oops, wrong button. 2 builders because they have 2 builders already. Why'd you guys quit? Go back. Why are you gathering food? Are you... Oh, because I messed up. That's why. So the people I had building no longer are building. 2 new people are taking over. All right, we're getting down to the wire here. Bad stuff is about to happen. Well, I need those builders. I need you. I need you to do everything. Or do I? I may have just made a mistake. I may have assigned and unassigned people to positions, causing new people to fill. That could be bad. 55% complete. Here are the savior, Rashael. Rashael and Anjanel. Keep at it, please. Please get it done. Still 0 food. Firewood's increasing, though. Oh, Rashael, you left. Oh, no. It was so close. So close. That's definitely when it starts getting ugly. And it's also when the construction in the background gets louder. Nice. All right, well, all we can do here is plan forward, right? So road will come through here. We'll have some more structures here. For right now, let's go ahead and make this a field. Let's do this like this. Probably missing the boat on this. Probably should have had this done sooner, but we'll see. We'll try to squeeze it in. A 9x12 field. It's early spring. And this is kind of like do or die time, I guess, right? So it's interesting. We'll see. We'll keep going. I can't add any more builders to that. I can't add... Well, I can. Is this going to be a good idea? Whoa, I made a mistake. That's twice I've made that mistake. That could be critical. That could be it. This last few minutes have been either the grueling slow death that's inevitable or something else. We'll have to see. It's coming, I guess. It's just slow. We do need a well. But there's going to be so many varieties, right? All different. Yet the same, maybe, in some ways. I guess some of them... Let's see. That's a lot of stone. But they're all basically for the same purpose, right? For firefighting, I think, is really what these are used for. But does it really matter? Maybe we should just throw one down here. I don't know. It's a lot of stone in some of these. It's huge. Old Town Pump. A fountain. A water well. Fresh water. So that must be like a food. It takes lumber. It cannot be used for firefighting. So that's not going to be good. How are we looking here on the assignment of people? More fishermen. What's going on here? Okay. That's getting done. We need the fishermen to get fish. We need to prioritize that barn. And then we'll prioritize the bridge and blacksmith because we are going to be running out of tools really quickly. Clothing, I hope I can get up this year before the end of summer, but the way that this is moving, we don't know. Good, bridge is getting done. It has all the materials, so now it's just the labor, 39. This is 40. So now I'm going to prioritize. I have 4 builders, so they should be 2 and 2. I should have 2 people coming over here to build. Yep, there they are. That'll get done. Then we can focus on the gatherer's hut. And over here we're going to need houses, so I got pulled away from that. So let's take a quick look here. Oh, that's right. I got distracted by the very cheap large home. Here we go. What are these? These look like maybe quay homes. There's just so many homes. 2-story homes. Interesting colors. What do we have here? Country little house. Different segments. Okay. Country little house. Those are kind of not for the time period, honestly. Settlers tents. Beach. Okay. I'm going to pause the game so that things don't get carried away because I see guys are now moving to build on either the gatherer hut or the hunting lodge. That is a large residence, that's for sure. Where are the coastal? Has it been right here in front of me and I missed it all the time? These are decorations. These are all just docks. those are the canals. Themed sets. There's a lot to this mod. Or to the mods that are here, I guess. The collection of mods. And this is really overwhelming. Why am I having such a difficult time finding the waterfront homes that I know exist, because I've used them in the mods before? A hostile boat. That's neat. Okay. This stuff I wanted to be all the... Oh, this is exactly what I was looking for. These kinds of things. These waterside, dock-based homes and structures are all, I think, really neat. This is a nice mod. This part of the mod is nice. I think this would be pretty applicable, having these over here. How many can I fit? I can fit 2 there. I can fit more than 2, potentially. Let's see what kind of space they take. Split them by a little bit of a gap in the middle. We can probably fill it with something. Okay. Those are there. All right. Let's see what else we can get. And then we're going to put a dock here, I guess. A boat bridge. Dock fence. Oh, that's interesting. Storage. Tiny. Oh, wow. Look at that. That almost fits perfect. Let's see. What do we want to do here? They almost need to be built before I can really see how this is going to be implemented in. I wish there was a ghost representation of them so we had more to go by, because that would be really helpful. So we have a small storage dock. That's ghost storage. Oh, I see. Okay. That's a big market. That's a big trading post. Oh. That's a curious one too. Too big, obviously, for our purposes here, but it's interesting nonetheless. I think we're just going to be building them first. So we'll wait for that to happen. I think this is a good point to stop where we are. We survived the winter. We do have 0 food, so that's going to be a sketch moment. This barn is being completed though, so hopefully they can easily store food here quickly. We can ramp up the sawmill, get the sawmill going, produce lumber so we can finish the central market, and then that market will be gathering all the resources and food that are needed into one location, making it easier for our citizens to get the stuff. They won't have to be traveling so far. That'll make us more efficient. And we'll have to build more homes, probably starting with finishing of that one as we go. So I think this is a good point to stop. I appreciate you watching the video to this point. I apologize for the construction in the background. Beyond my control, and that's what everybody has to deal with, right? We're not all professional studio people. But if you'd like to see more Banished, let me know. Like the video, comment below, and we'll see what happens as we continue this little series. Thanks. And that's going to wrap up this video. I really appreciate you watching it until the end. If you enjoyed the content, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Of course, you can always ring the bell to get notifications of future videos that are posted. But also, don't forget to participate in the discussion in the comments below, because I genuinely want to hear from you. Again, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.